This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And yes, AT&T finally announced the pre-orders of the first 5G phone that you're going to be able to make use of their sub 6 gigahertz spectrum. That will take place on November 25th. I believe if I was reading correctly, you're going to be able to get the Note 10 5G and the S10 5G on the consumer side to make use of their sub 6 gigahertz spectrum. I believe you can also, I think both of those phones should have millimeter wave spectrum on board as well. So in these areas where millimeter wave 5G is available, your phone should also take advantage of that spectrum as well. Now, the sub 6 gigahertz has been live since Q3. We've really just been waiting on a device to come out on the consumer side. So what this is, a lot of analysts were expecting AT&T to do this on the 700 megahertz spectrum, but AT&T decided to do it on the band 5 850 megahertz spectrum. Now, the only downside to that is they don't own it nationwide. So in a market like mine, El Paso, Verizon owns the entire 50 megahertz slice of that spectrum. So AT&T has zero band 5 in this market until you cross into New Mexico. That's where AT&T picks up band 5 again. Now, in those markets, from what I'm being told, the sub 6 gigahertz will take place on the 1900 megahertz band 2. That's where they're going to make use of the 5G NR technology using that spectrum. Now, will I get a 5G phone? I don't know. In my opinion, I got some of the maps up here for you guys. So this one is in Birmingham, Alabama. So the lighter shade blue is where the 5G coverage will take place. In the official statement, which I will leave in the description down below, AT&T has even stated the 5G is not going to perform much better than LTE. It's going to be right around the same. Now, this is an official press release from AT&T, but I have been telling you guys so for a few months now that the 500 low band, the 5G low band is not going to perform significantly better than the LTE advanced that we're seeing today. So again, you're looking forward to the launch on T-Mobile on December 6th. If you are getting a 5G phone with T-Mobile, just keep in mind it's not going to perform much better than LTE that we see today. It's just not. I know you guys have mentioned the latency. For now, the latency is going to be around the same as LTE and the speeds are going to be the same. The difference maker on 5G, where we're going to see the generation leap, which the G stands for, is on the wider channels that we see today on the millimeter wave. That's where we see that generational leap, not on the sub 6 gigahertz. The sub 6 gigahertz is just there to create a foundational layer of coverage that we saw with LTE. It will be needed on 5G, of course, so the carriers are rolling it out, but it's not going to be any different than what we're seeing on speeds today on LTE Advanced. So here we have Birmingham, Alabama. As you can see, the LTE coverage is still much larger. So they didn't touch many cell sites with the NR technology. Then here we got Louisville, Kentucky. Again, it's there, but it's not anything major. So once you travel outside of that radius where the coverage is displayed, you're gonna just be on LTE or 5GE or whatever AT&T has launched in that area. So then here we got San Francisco, California. So it looks like there it may be on a wider scale, but again, there are still areas there where you're going to be on the LTE Advanced. Next, we got Birmingham again. Probably screenshotted that twice. So we got Boston, Massachusetts. I think that's going to be some of the biggest coverage 5G that you will see on the map. They've done some extensive work there, it seems. But still, again, if you travel outside, you're going to be on LTE, the dark blue. So just keep that in mind as you're purchasing these phones. And this is Vegas, so mainly probably the Strip and the surrounding areas. But other than that, it's still mainly LTE. So just keep in mind as you're purchasing these phones, they're going to be expensive. From what I'm seeing early on, they're going to be $1,300 and up. is what the cost of those 5G phones is going to be early on. So if you are a consumer and you're looking at getting the 5G devices, I'm not gonna get the 5G device just yet. I'm gonna hold off. I do not believe El Paso is on the list of early on getting this, so I'm gonna stay tuned. There are still El Paso still needs to make a ton of improvements on LTE alone, especially on just getting the C-RAN small cells here and rolled out. So we are, as a market, behind on where a Vegas is, a San Diego, a San Francisco. But I'm tracking it on a daily basis. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to head out now to track some new potential towers and see how they perform. So just keep that in mind. The phones are going to be expensive for not so great coverage. I think there's a lot of work left to do to cover the same amount of square miles of LTE with 5G. And like I said, the cost structure, this has not been included yet, but 5G is one expensive mess. It's going to incorporate huge amounts of fiber increase. AT&T announced it the other day. They're going to roll out 400 gigabytes per second on the circuit between Dallas and Atlanta, I believe. So that's huge amounts of money. So just be ready for it. Just be ready for 5G and what the future holds. But I'm going to track you guys. I'm going to track it for you guys over the years, next year in 2021 from a consumer basic standpoint. And we're going to see how this develops over the next few years. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Lots more content coming. Go ahead and check out my comparison video of the unlimited plans. I will leave that in the description down below. But I just wanted to share that with you guys just so you can see the coverage and if it's if it's good enough for you, hey, go ahead and get it. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it at this point. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. Lots more content coming. If you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Also follow all of my social media outlets for more updates. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.